What is up, my friends? Welcome back to another video. And today let's talk about musical repetition. Okay, so how much repetition is good? How much is not good? Should we be introducing some variation to the repetition? Like, what's kind of the deal with that? And while the answer is not perfectly clear cut or, set in stone, there's always some form of guidelines that we can follow. So today I want to show you an example from one of my pieces, one of my songs, and hopefully it'll give you a couple of tools that you can start to think about if you are writing on your next piece of music, but you want to use repetition to your advantage. But before we do that, though, I want to give you my music theory fundamentals guide in case you don't have it yet. Basically, it's a guide that goes over the very basics of music theory. So like scales, chords, harmony, chord progressions, and how that all works together, explained in a very digestible, easy guide. And it's totally free. So if you want to check it out, just click the link in the box below. It'll take you straight there. And I want to give that to you as a thank you and a gift for watching this video. So let's kind of dive into the topic today, musical repetition. There's a saying that goes, repetition is a songwriter's best friend, or you could say a composer's best friend, right? And there's a lot of truth to that, because if you're trying to write for a more mainstream audience, or you want your music to have more of a mass appeal, then it makes a lot of sense to give the listener something that they can really latch onto and just remember for a long time. And we call these hooks, we call these earworms when they just stick in our head and they won't get out. It's so annoying, but then the songwriter is happy because they know they did a great job. So what is the balance between having, too much repetition or not enough? Let's go over this song really quickly called Up to You. It's one of my songs from my debut album, Freedom. And I'm just going to show you the verse, then we'll talk about the chorus and how much repetition is actually going on. So let's have a listen.
It's another wasted day scrolling for hours through my phone. I've got nothing else to do, I just sit in my room alone, waiting for the next big thing to come help me start my life. But that thing never really comes, sometimes it makes me wanna hide. There's gotta be a better way to make the most of every day. A new direction's here to stay. Why don't ya get up off your feet, start a new day in a better way. Jump, dance to the beat, look around you, what a stunning view. Every little thing you do brightens up the whole world too. It's all up to you.
Okay, awesome. And that's the first verse, pre-chorus, and chorus. In terms of the actual repetition itself, you'll notice the overall melody is very simple. So if I just if I play that out a little bit, it kind of goes, right? And so the melody is going, right? You see, I'm starting from E, I'm kind of going down the E major scale and then landing on the G sharp. So actually, maybe I should change the key to E major so that it's enharmonically correct. There we go. Then the second time, I want to repeat the same melody because it's the same type of structure and it's almost a response to the first melody, the first theme. So what I'm going to do, I could just go down to the G sharp again, but this time I want to have a little bit of variation. So instead of going down to the G sharp again, I want to go up an octave or go up to the octave above the G sharp, so to the next G sharp higher. And so we're flipping the direction. Instead of going down at the end, now this time we're going up. So it goes, and then, right? So it goes up the other way. Then the third time, I reestablish the first time, go back down, and this time, the last time, instead of going up to the G sharp, I actually land on the tonic, the E, if you treat the song in E major, for example. So there really is no right or wrong here, but if you have two themes happening back to back, or you can say if you have a theme that's happening and then you want to repeat that same theme, usually having a slight bit of variation on the second or on the repetition of the theme is a good idea. In this case, I only changed the very last note by going up instead of going back down. However, you could change a little bit more than that if you wanted to. You could keep the same rhythm. Maybe you change the direction of the melody slightly overall, whatever. But generally, if you repeat it multiple times, you want to have slight variations each time. Then moving on to the chorus, let's have a listen one more time to that. Here we go.
Why don't ya get up off your feet, start a new day in a better way.
All right, so the melody goes, right? Notice I repeat this actually twice. So kind of the same idea from the very first verse where we took that same theme, repeated it, but the second time I added a bit of variation. Now here in the chorus, I actually don't do a little bit of variation on the second time. Notice the melody is actually identical. Dun 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 dun, start a new day in a better way. Jump, dance to the beat, look around you, what a stunning view. And the main reason for that, for keeping it identical, is because I wanted the lyrics to do the difference, to make the difference there. And also because the chorus is really establishing the main hook of the song, I really have no need to really change it up the second time. You know, I just want to reinforce that hook in your mind. So make it super catchy, right? Then the third time though, right after that, I do change up the melody completely. It goes like this.
Every little thing you do brightens up the whole world too.
Now notice there we go. That's the first time. Then I go up to the F sharp before going back down to the E there. So there's a little bit of variation there. I establish the main theme once. There we go. And then do the same thing, repeat, but this time go up a little bit, right? So I basically took this third phrase and broke it down in half, made the first half its own theme, then repeated that theme. And with a slight bit of variation there. And then the last time,
It's all up to you.
and again, here we're ending on the tonic. So instead of going, I'm going, we're landing on the actual tonic there, right? So this one's totally, well, kind of different from the first two that we heard. So there really is no right or wrong, to be honest, but I would just say as a general guideline, if you are going to write music that has a theme that's repeated multiple times, you can repeat the second time exactly the same as the first, depending on the context, or you might want to change it with very slight variations on the repetition. Then the third time, you can always repeat that same theme again if you wanted to, depending on, again, on the context of the structure, or you could change up the melody completely and take the listener in a different direction. But just remember, simplicity is always better for a kind of a mainstream type of pop song. Because the general layperson is not that musically trained, if they can just latch onto one melodic idea and latch onto it and just hum it repeatedly, and if you can beat that into their head, that is what is really going to capture their attention and leave them wanting more, you know? So the less complicated you can make it, the better. So if you ask the follow-up question, like how much variation should I put into the melody, you want to do it tastefully. You don't want to do it so much that it completely warps the original theme or the main melody, but you want to do it in a way that feels like it's familiar, right? That main melody is still there, but there's just maybe a note or two that's been changed as a result of the repetition. Again, there's no right or wrong, but just the more music you listen to, the more you kind of experiment, I think, that will just come naturally. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. Let me know if that kind of vibes with the music that you do. Do you tend to use repetition in your music a lot, or do you prefer to just write new themes all the time? I'd be curious to know what your thoughts are on that. And if you don't have the music theory fundamentals guide yet, going over the very basics of music theory like scales, chords, harmony, and all that stuff, I want to give that to you completely free. So just click the link in the box below. It'll take you straight there. And again, it's my thank you to you for watching this video. So have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you then, and cheers. Bye-bye.